Caller critiques. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Come take a ride. With the weirdest guy I know. Well, it's Wednesday night.
It's Wednesday night.
And out you didn't go.
Chris Gethard Show. Chris Gethard Show. Whoa. Chris Gethard Show. Chris Gethard.
Everybody, welcome to the Chris Gethard Show. It's less than 3 months to Sandwich Night. I just realized I said that. Yeah. My name is Chris Gethard, your host tonight. Want to say hi to everybody watching live on MNN, as well as everybody watching live at thechrisgethardshow.com, and anybody who might be downloading this in the future. Before we start tonight, I want to go ahead and apologize to our musical guest dads. We had some miscommunications here with the studio. We thought we were going to have to switch to the small studio tonight. Turns out we didn't have to, but because we thought we were going to, we postponed dads. So anybody who's watching for them, I apologize to you and to the band themselves. And we are in the big studio. And I'll say this, the guy who was here, he said, you know what, I have a smaller scale show, and I'll take the small studio. He let us get back in the big studio. So I just want to say thanks to Ger Stevens. It's very kind of you. Very nice of you to do that. And I can be a little shit talker when I want to be, but I'm also very, very happy to say thank you for doing something nice for us. Very, very kind of you. We've got a fun show tonight. We've got the LLC who played us in. Very, very excited to see you guys. The LLC. Meet me on the hoop. So much room tonight. So much room tonight. The creature from the sea, figuring out the world of men. The human fish is here, ladies and gentlemen.
Human fish, human fish.
What's he thinking?
Human fish.
Human fish, what's on your mind right now?
Tyler Durden versus Ger Stevens.
Tyler Durden for Fight Club versus Ger Stevens, who did something very kind for us moments ago. Who wins?
Ger Stevens.
Nice. Tonight, Messenger Bag, the people's champion, the beloved. How are you?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm really good. And Messenger Bag, I'll say this. The fans of this show love you, and it doesn't even seem like it's going to your head at all.
It absolutely is.
Really? How so? Now, how is that?
I'm wearing a tank top.
You wear tank tops every episode. Don't you wear those every episode?
Well, I feel good about my body, and
I'm so glad we found you. Bethany Hall, how are you?
I'm good. I'm fighting some asthma.
Oh, no, that's a thing with you.
That is, yeah.
Okay,
I'm
well,
going to win.
I hope so. All right. Guy we haven't seen on the panel in a very long time, the world's greatest dancer, Rob Malone. How are you?
I'm feeling really good about my body. Had some shawarma plate earlier.
You did?
Yeah, and I thought it was going to be a little messy tonight, but it's been great.
All right, look at that. And, of course, joining us, another person we haven't seen on the panel in a while, Alyssa is here. Alyssa's back, ladies and gentlemen.
Checking in with Alyssa. Checking in with Alyssa. Alyssa, what's up?
How are you? How are things? Alyssa, ladies and gentlemen. Now, one of the reasons that Alyssa's sitting on the panel tonight is she's one of our all-time great callers, as well as a teenager. And tonight we've asked an old friend of mine, as well as a great friend of this show back, so that he might deal with some of our callers, and he has a real notoriety, I think, for getting in internet fights with teenagers. Ladies and gentlemen, our old friend Jake Fogelnest. Jake, how are you?
I just feel okay about my body. Not so great.
Got some work to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, same here.
I will fight with teens right now.
How did they? Because you used to run your own show out of your house where you'd let teenagers call you.
Yes, on this very network.
Yeah.
On public access. Yeah, a hand for public access. where the Chris Gethard show and Gur Stevens can all be on the same thing.
The thong guy.
Wait a minute. Who's the thong guy?
The thong guy follows us sometimes. He's just a guy who hires women to dance in thongs, and then he puts dollars in the thongs and he grins.
That is. I know that we don't get CBS anymore on Time Warner. They should just put that on.
I'll tell you what, we've gotten a huge bump in the ratings since the CBS thing. But even, I mean, your show on M&N or on public access back in the day, but you also, even just a few years ago, were running an internet show.
Where I yell at teenagers.
Yeah.
Well, basically, I started as a teenager who was very, very cool. And and I've just gotten cooler and cooler since then. And I found that these teens today are dummies and need to be stopped.
Okay.
They're not as cool as when I was a teen. I was interested in stuff. I would research things, and teens today are just like Tumblr, and I don't like it.
Okay.
There's like 3 good teens. Alyssa is a good teen. Tavi, who does Rookie Mag, is a good teen.
Okay.
And then whoever plays Sally Draper. And that's it. Those are the good teams.
All right, well, I think we could all agree. I'll explain exactly what this is, but Jake Fogelnest is in a position, an authority more than any other, to help us out tonight with a show we call Caller Critiques.
You can call us up, say anything you want to say. It's the Chris Gethard Show. Anything goes, it's okay. Tell us your opinions, your dreams, your obsessions, your screams, your thoughts. But this week we're gonna tell you if they suck or not. So just give us a call, yeah. Give us a call, yeah. Why don't you give us a call, yeah. Give us a call, yeah. I said yeah. Why don't you give us a call, yeah.
Wow. The LLC, I think that's the first time you guys have performed a mashup of your own song, of tonight's theme and a prior song. Caught us all by surprise. Great, so here's how this works. We're going to get some notes tonight. We all are, and you guys all are. You call us up, 212-757-1393, talk about whatever you want. But after the call, all Jake Fogelnest, he's going to tell you honestly what he thought about it. And he's not going to go out of his way to be mean.
No.
Constructive criticism.
Yeah.
And whoever is his favorite call of the night will be written down on that dry erase board. And then if a call replaces, so whoever the first caller is automatically gets their name up because that's the best call of the night. It's the first one. And then if another caller dethrones that person, you'll erase them, say, I like that call better. And whoever's name is up there at the end of the night, we're going to mail you the dick skirt. We're going to mail you the dick skirt. This is an item, if anybody didn't see the episode, myself, Human Fish, Murph, and Messenger Bag stood inside this very skirt, took off our pants, and looked at each other's dicks. And it's been in the trunk of my car ever since. And you could win it tonight. You could win it tonight. So whoever the last person is to sit on the throne up there wins it. And you're going to get notes, and we're going to get notes. Jake, you're going to let us know if we botched calls and how we handled them.
I have a long history of, directing stuff at the Upright Citizens Brigade Theater. I helped make a lot of people famous.
Very true. And you're a guy, you've been giving me, honestly, notes and constructive advice on my work since I was 19 years old.
That is true,
I trust you immensely.
Yeah, so we're just trying to make good art here. That's it. We're just trying to make good art. And I think that idiotic phone calls to a public access show can be good art.
It's true. And I can't do it. Here's another thing I'll say, too. There have been calls that have come in, and I try to say, like, hey, you got to bring the heat. And everybody tells me I'm an asshole.
I think you got to deal with whatever comes your way. Yeah. And you just, you just can't hold back. So whatever we get tonight, we're going to embrace it. Like, it doesn't matter if they're not bringing it, then we just turn it into a thing about how they're not bringing it.
Yeah.
But they better bring it.
All right, so the first name we're going to write up there, traditionally our first caller, the guy who has called first more than anyone, Andres in Massachusetts. Let's kick things off. Welcome to the Chris Gethard Show, Andres.
Hey, Christopher.
Andres?
Yeah, what's up?
How are you? What do you want to talk about tonight?
Well, first off, I just want to say, sup, Messenger Bag. Hope you're having a good night.
Hey, Andres.
Okay.
Giving his voice really brightens my night.
What was that?
And I want to bring something up. I feel like you kind of let this slide, but like a few weeks ago, you said that you challenged me to a fight on air.
Yeah.
And I'm just saying, I'm just saying, I have not forgot about that. I am still willing to dare fight. And I know what you're thinking. He's a child. I can't fight a child. Technically, I'm 16 years old, which means in Massachusetts, I can drive a car. It's a legal age of consent. In some countries, I can own land. So at 16 years old, I can have a lot of power in some situations.
Andres,
So
my
just know that.
problem with what you're saying is that you're presupposing that I won't fight you. And if you show up here and you want to fight, I'll definitely fight you. I wouldn't punch you. I think we'd have to have some ground rules. But
Sounds like Jake would, though.
I'm ready to fight. I'm like, this guy's irritating me so much right now.
Andres, let's finish the call. Let's finish the call. Because Andres, you're what? You're 16 now?
I am 16 years old. I turned 16 August 9th.
You turned 16. Congratulations. I would get like a grappling match with you. I wouldn't punch you or kick you in the face.
Oh,
but
no. It'd be gentlemen. It'll be all gentlemen fighting. No punches below the belt. Just straight up wrestling.
You tell me the next time you're coming out to New York City, I'll get out the wrestling mats and we can go mano a mano.
Sounds good to me. I can move around my schedule a bit.
Well, thank you for making time for us in your busy schedule.
No problem. Between all the dates I'm going on in school, I can make time.
You're going on a lot of dates.
No, that's not true. I'm just trying to do it now.
Okay, I'm going to cut you off there. We're going to throw it over to old Jake Fogelnest. Jake, your commentary on that phone call.
All right. At the end, I started to like the call. I really did. Okay. But at the beginning, I was furious because this guy came with his agenda. It was almost like he had written down like his lines beforehand.
Okay.
It was like, I got to get this in. I got to get this in. Yeah, this will work. Like he'd been working on it all week. When he started to actually, I don't know, have a conversation with you instead of pushing his agenda, that's when it started to work.
You are not fucking around. Not fucking around, everybody.
No, it's like
Jake
he's like
playing games.
He's like he came in like, oh, I got a shtick from 3 weeks ago. What if somebody's watching this show for the first time?
Great call. We get that a lot.
This isn't a serialized thing like Twin Peaks. It's a late night talk show. You guys got to go on the Wikipedia to like see what happened on like 3 episodes ago. Just come on, we're having fun. It's late night.
Okay. That being said, Andres, you're the first caller, so you are in the top spot. We'll see. Up next is our old friend Denise. We'll see if Denise can dethrone you. Denise, how you doing?
Hi, how you doing?
Is this Denise who comes to the show all the time?
Yeah, this is Denise who comes to the show and after a bunch of shit had to move to Connecticut, so I'm not at the show.
Oh, wow. Okay, well, congrats.
No, it's really shitty. I have a question for the human fish.
A question for the human fish. All right.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we are floating in space versus ladies and gentlemen, the fabulous Dames. Who wins?
Ladies and gentlemen, we are floating in space versus ladies and gentlemen, the fabulous Stains. Who wins?
Ladies and gentlemen, the fabulous Stains.
Oh,
yes.
Oh. Are you familiar, Rob? You love a good obscure movie. You love a good obscure movie. Have you seen, ladies and gentlemen, the fabulous Stains?
I haven't seen it.
Check it
I
out.
should watch it.
Yeah, and this is also Denise. You are clearly buttering up Jake Fogelnest. Pandering to Jake, who loves.
I am because I waited all month to see Jake Fogelnest on the show, and then I got kicked out of my apartment and had to move to Connecticut. I'm missing this episode, and my heart is hurting, so I wanted to pander just a little.
Absolute pandering to take the top spot by Denise. Jake, did it work?
Yeah, it worked really well. Worked really well.
Awesome.
Yeah! All right. Well done, Denise. Let's go. Charlie in Pittsburgh, I believe. It's pretty good. If we could turn up the volume on the calls in the studio.
That's not on you. That's on him. His phone's messed up. Your system works great.
Charlie, how you doing?
I could always tell.
I actually went to the top side of the team that's been listening to
Yep, you got an awful phone.
Jake, let's let the call finish. Let's let the call finish before your critique. Charlie, we're having a little trouble hearing you tonight. I really want to have this conversation. Bethany really wants to have this conversation.
Yeah, especially because in my head your name is Charlie Pitt, and I'm like, are you related to Brad Pitt?
I'm not actually.
Okay, so Charlie, what do you want to talk about tonight?
Fugazi.
Fugazi. Okay, we'll talk about Fugazi. What do you want to say about Fugazi?
I really just wanted to know everybody's opinion on Fugazi and what their favorite album is by Fugazi.
What is everybody's favorite Fugazi album. Charlie wants to know what each of our favorite Fugazi album is. Let's start with Alyssa. Alyssa, what's your favorite Fugazi album?
The first one.
That's my favorite as well.
Yeah.
There you go.
Messenger bag.
I'm really disappointed. I was super punk rock in high school, but I never got into Fugazi.
I also was just telling Hallie this. I'm huge on Minor Threat. Only a handful of Fugazi songs get me excited, Charlie, in Pittsburgh.
I like the White Album.
Okay, well, Charlie, thank you. Jake, go to town.
Charlie's
Oh,
phone.
no.
Shut up, we're done! Charlie's phone was so bad, I thought the call was about Benghazi. And I was like, that is not a fun topic.
You also did as well.
Yeah, and I,
So,
could,
Rob,
I did too.
I could have talked about that.
Rob, what's your favorite Benghazi album?
I liked Summer 2012.
The mixtape, the Benghazi mixtape from summer 2012. That's a pretty grim mixtape.
I feel like the callers are trying, they're like, oh, Fogelnest likes punk rock. Like, you don't have to make these calls about me. In fact, no, don't make them about me. Make them about contributing to the show. You're not going to win any favors by calling in.
This is my favorite show we've ever done. It's just you call up and then my friend yells at you.
You're not going to do any favors. Like, yes, pandering worked once, but it's not going to work for the rest of the show. You have to kind of evolve with what's happening. You got to stay like paying attention. So that call was not great. It just wasn't great. Although I agree with you guys about Fugazi. I love Minor Threat. Look, I like some Fugazis. I
got
love Ian
nothing
McKay.
but respect for Ian McKay.
Yeah,
Hey.
of course.
Nothing.
I don't know what that was, but it was unprofessional.
That was Jersey Dave. Gotta cover Jersey Dave. Who's the problem solver? Jersey Dave. Are you broke? He can fix you.
Got a sneeze, he's got a tissue.
He will come to your rescue, Jersey Dave.
All right, let's go to Meg in Ohio. Meg, are you there?
Yes.
Okay, the floor is yours. What would you like to talk about tonight?
All right. My grandpa died a few years ago today.
Oh, I'm really
and
sorry.
I've been missing him and thinking about him. And instead of dwelling in on it, I wanted to call in and tell my favorite story of him, if that's okay.
I'd love to hear a story of your grandfather. I think that would be great.
So I heard this the day of his funeral from my uncle, and my grandpa was always like a really mild-mannered person. And I mean, like, the one word he would always use was just like jeepers for anything. It could be the craziest thing, and he would just be like, oh, jeepers.
Jeepers. He used jeepers.
So, I loved that about him. Anyway, the story is that my uncle had just gotten his first television writing job in L.A., and my grandparents were visiting. And so my uncle and his girlfriend picked him up from the airport. And it was my grandma and his girlfriend in the backseat, and my grandpa, his uncle, and his friend. And my grandpa was, like, really into entertainment, so he was excited to be in L.A. for his first time. And the whole car ride, he was just watching out his window for somebody he would recognize. So finally, they were stopped at a light, and my grandpa looks at the car next to him, and he goes, oh, hey, there's... And then he just stops and looks straight forward and acts like he didn't say anything at all. And my uncle looks in the car next to him, and it was Ron Jeremy.
Jeepers. That's a great story. I love that story.
Thank you.
Thank you for calling the show. We're now going to ask Jake Fogelnest, how did Meg in Ohio do?
That was a great call. That was a really great call, and I think right now the top call of the night. Completely manipulative because it started with my grandfather died several years ago. So it's sort of like, okay, well, we can't,
But Jake, you also know our show well enough to know that is far, far from the saddest call.
That is true. But what was great about that call is it had a beginning and a middle and an end. It had a point of view. There was like a punchline. There was reason to be picking up the phone and taking advantage of the technology.
So has Meg dethroned Denise?
Yes, I'm
Meg,
afraid, yes. Meg has the top call.
4 men's dicks touch the skirt. Yeah! 4 men's dicks touch the skirt. You told us about your dead grandpa, and now we may mail this thing to you. I also forgot to say hello to the man behind the plant because we put him all the way over there, too. We had the extra room tonight, so we stuck the man behind the plant back there. Okay, let's... Oh, Rob Malone wants to hold the dick skirt in his hands.
Can I just say one more thing about Meg?
Yeah, you love this call, and this is for You're not here just to yell at people.
No, absolutely not. And I think that was a great call, and it had a point of view. As our friend Tom Sharpling says, she took the scenic route a little bit. She could have tightened it up. It just could have been. We only have so much time, and what feels like a minute to you on the phone feels like 7 minutes to people on television.
Truth.
So
Orlando, I think you would agree with that.
I'm so Fugazi, man. Come on.
You love Fugazi.
It's amazing. It's fucking Fugazi.
I mean,
he's right. It is fucking
it's
Fugazi,
Fugazi.
but we're also right.
It's not me.
No, you're not. No.
Dude, I'll listen to Minor Threat with you all night long. Don't worry.
I like their self-titled album.
All right.
Is that allowed to happen?
He just does whatever he wants now.
Okay.
Oh, listen.
That I'm glad that I'm here and not calling in, because if it was a bad call, I'd get ripped apart, and if it was a good call, I'd win that.
That's true.
I'm super fond of that thing. Don't talk bad about the skirt.
Messenger bag, you have like an emotional attachment to the skirt where...
I'm kind of sad some stranger gets to own that.
Why? That's part of the whole deal with the Gethard shows. It's interactive.
I don't know. I'm fond of it.
What is your fondest memory from our time spent inside that skirt?
Murph was like so comfortable. The rest of us were just like, what is happening?
Murph did have no qualms with
Murph was the greatest.
Yeah, letting us all look at his dick. Let's go ahead. Jared in New Jersey, thank you for calling the show. Welcome.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Not much. Where in New Jersey are you from?
I just wanted to say thank you. A couple years ago at Bonnaroo, you got me and my girlfriend to volunteer in the comedy tent, and that whole weekend, like in exchange for a free ticket to Bonnaroo, I just got to watch stand-up comedy. So thank you for that.
Hey man, that's my pleasure. That's my pleasure. I'm very happy to help out. How have things been?
I have a question for the human fish.
You have a question for the human fish. Okay.
Human fish, Mayo versus Miracle Whip.
Mayo versus Miracle Whip. Who wins?
Miracle Whip.
Miracle Whip. Okay, Jared, I'm going to say this. I love talking to you. I loved your call. I'm going to go ahead and ask Jake Fogelnest what he
thought. Is it cool if I ask one more thing?
What's that?
Is it cool if I ask one more thing to Jake Fogelnest?
Sure.
Jake, I used to listen to you a lot on Alt Nation. I split my mom's car with her, but she stopped getting serious, so I don't know what to listen to now. Can you give me like 2 or 3 suggestions of bands to listen to?
Here's the thing. I work for 45 minutes a day. I hear the beginning of a song and the end of a song. I don't actually hear any of the music. I haven't heard a song that I play on the radio in 7 years.
Oh, my God.
It is a side gig. They give me health insurance. So, no. But let's get to your call. First thing, don't ignore Chris when he's like, where from New Jersey are you from? And you're like, oh, that's not important. Let's talk about my agenda. And let's get to your agenda. Just as a rule for calling any call-in show, don't bring up Bonnaroo. What happens in Bonnaroo stays in Bonnaroo and is a nightmare. You don't need to look back at whatever weekend you had camping and paid. Forget it.
I didn't hear Chris ask me where I was from. I'm from North Caldwell. I went to West Essex High School.
Yeah, Too late. That's wonderful, but too late.
And my parents lived in Fairfield for years. We would have had so much to talk about.
Call would have went a different way. Listen. I don't know what to tell you, dude.
All right. A very sad ending. I'm so happy you're here. It's incredible. No! All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a break from the calls. Call us up 212-757-1393. Get in the queue. I'm having a great time, and I think we're all learning about how the show works. But right now, there's a very great friend of this show. You see him a lot having fun dancing, but he also sometimes has some serious things that he needs to get off his chest. Ladies and gentlemen, Banana Man is here, and Banana Man has something to say.
Sorry, it was too long. Too long.
I appreciate the theme song, but there's no joking right now. I have something very, very important to say.
I'm sorry.
I was surfing the web today while I was at work, and I heard some very disturbing news. Apparently, the U.S. is about to go to war with Syria. Syria allegedly has been using chemical warfare against their own citizen. What?
Sorry.
Syria has been using chemical warfare against their own citizens, and the U.S. is currently in the Mediterranean Sea with missiles, and we might attack Syria at any given point in time. I'd like to go on record and say, let's not do this. No, see, war is not a laughing matter. War is very serious, and I'm more of a fan of love than war. So really what I think is I'd like to get President Obama watching the show. So if anybody knows President Obama, please give him a call right now. Get him to watch the show, or even the Secretary of Defense, Chuck Hagel. So just give him a call and have him tune into the show. It's the Chris Gethard Show. It airs every Wednesday night at 11 p.m. on public access. It's a great show. Normally we have a band on the show. Tonight we won't. There are a lot of weirdos that dance. Also, we have Jake Fogelnest on the show, and he's a great host, so I think it would be a great time to tune in. So I'll give you guys just a second to tune in. Okay. Hello, Mr. President. My name is Banana Man, and I don't want you to go to war with Syria or any country at all, ever. You see, war plus war equals more war. You put war on war, and you're not going to get less war. And with the chemical warfare and everything else, I know that it's really bad, but you know what's even worse than that? Killing people. So I want you to put the weapons down. I want you to put down the AKs. I want you to put down the missiles. I want you to put down the A-bombs, the H-bombs. I want you to put down the semi-automatics, the fully automatics. Put them all down, okay? Thank you. You can turn off the show now. Now, for everybody else watching the show, I would like to say, call your local politicians. We already have Obama on board. So please, call your local politicians and tell them that Banana Man said to put the weapons down and stop going to war. And I want you guys to just start making love. I want you to make love to your neighbors, make love to your friends. Look to the person on your right. Give him a smooch. Look to the person on your left. Just maybe unbutton their shirt a little bit. Maybe start nibbling on their ear. Get into the hubba-hubba zone, you know? Make love. Make babies. Make more babies. The more babies we make, that if people were to die in war, we'd make up for that with love, you know? So I think really the moral of the story is that you shouldn't be hurting each other and you shouldn't be killing each other. You should be going to Bone Zone non-stop. Left and right. Just fuck like rabbits. All over. Okay? Thank you.
Okay, Banana Man, let's stay up there. Banana Man, ladies and gentlemen. We're not just picking on the callers tonight. We can take notes ourselves. Jake, do you think that the proper way for us to go political for the first time ever in the history of the Gethard Show is a man in a banana suit talking about chemical warfare?
I'll say it's the only way. It's the only way to look. It's a great bit. It's great. No, I know. It's a great thing. It was very solid. It needs an out. We don't have an out for this. That's where we're at right now.
For this current interaction?
Yeah. No, not for the current interaction. Am I giving notes on the show?
I just feel like we never get notes either. I want notes for myself as a host. I want notes for
You're doing great. Here's the thing. Bethany's the moral center of the show.
Yeah.
So if it ever gets too much, she will say, okay, and then we'll all calm down. Yeah. Like and you're doing great. You are driving this thing.
How do you think Messenger Bag's doing?
Here's the thing. It's you're so laid back. Okay. You know what? You're doing great.
All right.
I love what's happening. It was the greatest. It's the only because it's great. It's political satire, but it's very silly at the same time. Like it's just a great way to do this, to address something that's in the news right now that everybody's talking about, but nobody really wants to talk about in a late night context. Like solid, just the way to do it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, Jake and Banana Man.
I love it.
Love that work. We can take the notes as well. We can take notes as well. Let's go ahead. Next caller is John in California. John, welcome to the show.
Hey, how's it going?
It's doing pretty. I think we're having fun. I hope everybody's having fun at home watching because I'm having a great time.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it. I can't speak for anyone else.
Oh, okay. That's. Are you basing that on are the kids in the chat room not having a good time?
They seem to. They seem to be having a good time. But again, that's the anonymity of the internet. I can never be sure.
That is fair. I guess that is fair for you to say. So you weren't implying that there are people actively not enjoying it. You were just actually stating the fact that you cannot speak for other people.
Yeah.
Okay, great, great. All right, so John, welcome to the show. The floor is yours.
All right. I noticed earlier in the broadcast that you have a relationship expert on the show right today, Mikey Erg. I had a relationship question for Mikey Erg.
Oh, a relationship question for Mikey Erg. It's true, Mikey Erg has written some of the world's great love songs.
All about how his relationships aren't working.
Exactly.
I was listening in my
person.
car on the way. It's so weird. I never talk with Mikey about his music, except I mention on the show that I'm like obsessive about it. And then we're friends outside of this, and we never address that. It's true. So what is your question for Mikey Erg?
I'm going with a girl to a baseball game this Friday night, and I'm terrible at dates. Just in general, what should I do? I'm pretty sure she likes me enough to go to a baseball game with me.
I'm terrible at dates too, so I don't really.
And 9 innings, that's a long commitment.
Yeah. Go on the date and try not to fuck it up.
Mikey says go on the date and don't fuck it up.
Is there anything I shouldn't do?
If I may,
I'll defer to you, because
maybe not ask Mikey for advice on the public access TV show. That might be the first step.
Whoa.
It's true. Have you heard Mikey's songs?
No.
But they're heartbreaking tales of lost love. Almost exclusively.
Right.
Yeah.
So when you do fuck it up, write a song about it.
Yeah.
That's my advice.
That's it. Now, Rob, as soon as John mentioned baseball games, you were like, no, you're shaking your head.
Don't go to baseball games. Who's playing in the game?
The A's versus the Blue Jays. Not Blue Rays.
The Oakland A's? You're in Oakland?
I'm from near Oakland, yes.
You know, messenger bags from the Bay Area.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Did you hear how excited he just got? He perked up.
I think he sounded like so uncertain and hesitant about everything.
Until that.
No, even that.
Even that. All right, so John, I don't know, maybe messenger bag, he's from the Bay Area. I don't know, do you have any advice?
I'm a Giants fan. I think that stadium is way better. The Oakland Stadium's just like a bunch of concrete and really drab, and it's going to be boring to hang out in for like 3 hours, so don't go there.
Well, here's the thing, though, is if I go to an A's game versus a Giants game, my team is probably going to win.
Wait, are you
That's
not?
a dig. That's a dig.
Oh, I don't understand things about stuff. I don't know, you seem like a reasonable young man, so just keep the energy up and the date's going to go great.
I don't even know if I can agree with that because I called into a public access show to ask about a date.
I have some opinions.
Bethany has some opinions. Bethany, your opinions for John from California.
First of all, I think it's really sweet that you're going to take a girl to a baseball game. Much better than just saying, like, you want to get a drink or what do you want to do? Blah, blah, blah. Great initiative. Secondly, show up around like the 3rd or 4th inning, and then you get to stay till the end. You get to have a beer. You can walk around a little bit. If like you get bored sitting in one place, just go for a walk around the stadium and look at the different things.
Bethany's crushing this, John. Write this shit down.
If you drink beer, have a beer. If you can afford to pay for everything, pay for everything.
Pay for everything. I highly recommend
You'll be
that.
good. You'll be great.
All right, John, thank you so much. I feel like that was a lengthiest conversation we've had so far. Let's see what Jake Fogelnest thought. Jake, you're
glad you brought that up. First of all, this guy started with an attitude with this call that he was too cool for school. Just come on, we're all friends here. Just like stop antagonizing. Like I am not as you may be hosting the show, but I'm important too. You're not. You're not hosting the show. You're not as important. Just take it down.
Oh my goodness.
I did think.
No, oh my goodness, Bethany, I love this. This is the fucking tough medicine that we've all needed for months now.
I do think. My initial thought was baseball game is a weird first date. That is a weird first date. However, Bethany is just so right on. Like your advice on that was so good. The idea of showing up at the 3rd inning, Like, that's great. Like, they should, because that's a long time to be stuck there, and the game is going to get boring, and it's about getting to know it. It's just perfect. You just are, okay. Chris, did this show turn into WFAN, the sports channel at one point? Like, you had the power at any time during that call to, like, sort of like, all right, well, we got to wrap it up. Like, it turned into a sports talk show.
It's true. I let it go too long. I dropped the ball.
You did.
And I tried to throw it to Messenger Bag based on the Bay Area thing, and it was just putting Messenger Bag on the spot in a way that wasn't fair.
And that's when it turned into a sports talk show. It was just unnecessary.
And Messenger Bag accurately had
no
interest.
No interest.
No interest. I should have cut it off. You're right. You're right.
Human Fish, you're doing great.
That being said, did he dethrone it? It sounded like you loved Bethany the most.
No, I loved Bethany's advice. It's a terrible call.
Okay. Wonderful. All right, let's go to Shelby in Kentucky, my old friend. You haven't called in a while, but we hung out in Nashville. Shelby, how's it going?
Hey, Chris, what's up, man?
Great to hear from you. Great to meet you in person. Glad we got to eat at a real shitty Waffle House together.
Oh, yeah.
It was a good time. How are you?
I'm good, man. So I just had one quick thing I wanted to say, and it's I just wanted to let you guys know that Billy Zane has recently started wearing a shirt that says, "He's the daybed," and he loves it. I don't know. I think it's hilarious.
Shelby, you are a very unironic fan of Billy Zane. You often call our show and try to convince me and others to watch Billy Zane movies. Can you say one more time what Billy Zane's new shirt says?
Seize the daybed.
Seize the daybed. Anyone have an opinion? Rob Malone, your opinion on Billy Zane's new Seize the Daybed shirt?
Have you seen The Phantom, Shelby?
Shelby, have you seen The Phantom?
More than one time, yeah.
More than one time.
Yeah, it's a really good movie. That's my opinion on the
Messenger
shirt.
Bag agrees that The Phantom is a good movie.
Yeah, I saw that when I was like 10. It was great.
Yeah, I saw it twice in the theaters.
Hell yeah.
All right, Shelby, I'm going to cut you off there. I'm going to try to be a good host, cut you off there. I think you just put yourself in the running for a dick skirt, my friend Jake Fogelnest. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm afraid so. Yeah.
Shelby, you have taken over. You have taken Meg from Ohio.
Yeah! That was perfect. Let me tell you why. Just weird. Weird call. One weird thought. Let me present you with this weird thought about Billy Zane. What do you think? That's a great phone call.
Yep.
That's all you need. You don't need... You people that call in, you have three things. Like, oh, like that guy who called earlier who's like, he went through like everybody and he's like, oh, by the way, I got some stuff to talk about for Jake. Whatever that third thing you think you should be talking to people about on television, you shouldn't. Let it go. That guy had one thought. You took control. Just awesome.
Nice,
Weird
Shelby.
call.
You have unseated Meg, the girl who told us the story about her deceased grandfather. Via that. Let's go. Oh, international call. I always love these. Dan in Australia.
Hey guys, how's it going?
It's good. Dan, how you been? I feel like we haven't heard from you in a long time.
Oh man, I've been busy.
That's fair. That's fair. How's things? What do you want to talk about tonight?
I just got two quick things. One for Jake and one for yourself. I don't know which you like first.
It's totally up to you, man.
Well, just for you, I've got a red-headed friend emceeing my wedding in November, but I could easily replace him with a red-headed celebrity. What do you reckon? You want to come on down?
Wait, you can replace what with me?
Well, my MC at my wedding, I've got a red-headed friend, but I'd prefer a red-headed Chris Gethard if you want to come on down.
You're inviting me to your Australian wedding?
Yeah, well, yeah.
When is it? What's the date?
November 2.
November 2nd.
Go!
I think I'm free, yeah. Can I get a +1 on that?
Yeah, sure. A free accommodation and vittles, obviously.
So wait, I just have to pay for my flight and I can come to Australia and go to your wedding?
Yep, just $1,300 to $1,500, sure.
$1,500 flight. Dan from Australia, if you're serious, I would love to attend your wedding. I would love it.
I just got something for Jake that's been
Australia. Sounds good, yeah. And then your question for Jake.
Jake, I'm glad that you're back over in New York having fun, riding for Billy on the street. But, man, you're slacking on Twitter, man.
I'm
You're
sorry.
slacking.
I'm sorry. I'm slacking on Twitter, but I've
giving
been
us
paid
6,
to
7
write.
tweets today.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I have a job.
No, we want, you've got a contract with your fans. We want 12 to 15 tweets a day. We want 6 Facebook posts.
I love this call.
Dan,
I love this call.
Here's the deal. I love that Chris is going to your wedding. It's so in the spirit of the Chris Gethard Show. It is really, really great. My problem is this. You call too many shows. I hear you on the best show. I've heard you call my webcast. I know who you are, Dan. You're a great guy. But I hear you too much.
I'm a Fogel fan. Shows are an addiction.
Calling shows.
For Dan from Australia.
You run the risk, and Dan, you are a great guy. You're a great guy, and you're a good caller to the shows. But what happens is you get lumped in as like the guy who calls in all the shows. There used to be people.
Bethany has a problem with this.
What?
Bethany
I feel
has
like you're going too far.
Bethany says you're going too far.
No, this is important. This is important because there used to be guys in the old days of public access who would call and be like, hey, it's Mad Dog. Like, oh, Mad Dog's calling again. And it just becomes a thing.
It's Mad Dan calling. Mad Dan.
Mad Dan's calling. I like that response.
I want my Fogel fix.
Here's the thing.
Fogel fix. Fogel fix. I want
Dan
my
calls
Fogel
on the
fix.
shows because ultimately Dan does have the goods.
Dan does bring.
He's got the goods. You definitely got the goods.
And we share a number best because a lot of people found out about
got a
our
lot
show
of
through
yeah,
the
a lot
best show.
of best show. Yeah,
Like
it's
Fred from Honolulu is a great caller of all.
But that
ours,
guy,
and he found us
but
through that as
don't
well.
I have a problem with Fred from Honolulu because he was like the Cure or better than Morrissey?
Oh, you did. You didn't like Fred from Honolulu.
No, I'm sure Fred from Honolulu is
He has
great.
great calls,
I'm sure
but
he's
you
a
got-
great
you
guy.
got the
He's
Twitter
just
fight with
wrong
him.
about the Cure being better than Morrissey.
The idea that the Cure is better than the Smiths is
it's like
completely
it's
offensive.
infuriating.
It's completely offensive
Yeah.
to every sensibility.
I know. So, but we'll put that aside for a minute. The thing is this, Dan, you're great. You should definitely go to his
Australia.
wedding.
I gotta
Go to
go to
Australia.
Dan's wedding,
Yeah, go. And I'll tell you this, I will send Chris with a wedding gift. If he goes, I will send
wow,
with a
you
wedding
just got
gift.
yourself an extra wedding gift.
Because, Dan, I have a great affection for you. I think you're great. You call too many shows.
But you're saying Shelby's still in the lead then?
Shelby's in the lead,
Shelby's still in...
but Dan is one of the best in the biz.
Wonderful. Dan, thank you for the call. Let's go to Matthew in New York.
Hey, this is my first time calling. I'm actually walking down the street.
Oh, that's awesome. What block are you on?
This would have been my first live Chris Gethard show because I've been watching them archived all week on my phone.
Uh-huh.
But I realized I wasn't going to be able to get home in time, and by the time I was gotten home, it would have been past midnight.
That's cool. So, Matthew, where are you right now in New York City?
I am walking down Bleecker Street.
Bleecker and what? Bleecker and what? Because I want to tell anybody who's watching this show, if they want to hang out with another Chris Gethard show fan, this guy Matthew, he's on his phone, and he's at Bleecker and what?
I am at Bleecker and 6th Avenue.
Okay, stay right there. Stay right where you are. Stay right where you are. Stay at Bleecker and 6th. Stay there for the next 18 minutes. And if any fans of our show are in the area of Bleecker and 6th, I want you to stop watching. You can watch the rest when you download the episode. I want you to walk towards Bleecker and 6th. I think that's down there. Some basketball
Actually,
courts.
to be more specific, I'm going to Bleecker Street Pizza.
You're going to Bleecker Street Bistro. Okay, pizza.
That's
Go
where I'm
to
gonna be
Bleecker
sitting.
Street Pizza. If you're watching this show, Matthew will just be in there chilling with a slice.
What are you wearing?
Yeah, what are you wearing?
I'm wearing a green Planet of the Apes shirt.
A green Planet of the Apes shirt. Of course you are. Of course you are. Of course you are. Okay, anybody in the area of Bleecker and 6 right now, go to Bleecker Street Pizza, look for a guy in a green Planet of the Apes shirt, go up to him and say, are you Matthew? And if he says yes, hang out. Matthew, you let us know how it goes. Rob Malone, you're excited about this.
What are you doing at midnight, Matthew?
I was coming from a screening of Tom Lennon and Robert Grant's Hell Baby at UCD.
That sounds good. But no,
Yeah.
Rob wants to know what you're doing later.
Yeah, because there's a whole party after the
Rob
show
wants
every
to
week.
hang out with you. Rob wants you to come up this way.
Yeah, if you head up to around 59th Street between 6th and 7th, it's 9th and 8th Avenues, Lincoln Park. It's a bar named after the band. Look it up on your phone. Meet us there.
Okay, Alyssa has something you want to say.
This feels unsafe, and I'm worried about Matthew.
No, okay, I'll add a caveat for your peace of mind. Nobody stab or poison.
Yeah, I am a little worried. I don't want to end up dead.
No stabbers. No stabbers, and nobody try to poison his pizza.
Thank you.
Okay, Jake Fogelnest.
Matthew's got the best call right now.
Matthew, hold on. Yeah! Matthew, you are currently in the lead to win the dick skirt that the human fish is wearing like a fucking cloak, like a lion's mane. Great call. Let's go to Jason in Chicago.
I do need to point out, though,
Okay.
he's in the lead, but that call was all you.
I took the ball and ran
You
with
took the
it.
ball
But
and
he
ran
set
with
me
it.
up great.
But he set you up.
Great.
Sometimes it's just about setting people up. You don't have to have like, oh, I got some funny bitter agenda. Just be like, how about this little thing?
Yeah.
That's what works.
Trust your boy. Trust your boy. Jason in Chicago, welcome to the show.
Time for me.
What's
all
up?
right, what you guys all need is some more ethnic diversity.
I agree. I agree.
Right. Look at this whitewash panel.
Very, very true. Absolutely true. I have no argument there. I believe that's true. We've had very
Last
few...
time I called the show, I yelled white power at the end because you were in the cage.
Wow, that was a while ago. But wait, why did me being in the cage cause you to yell white power? You brought up the fact that we're a very white show, but you said me being in a
talking about
cage.
white power.
What's that?
They were talking about white-out athletics and white power.
That's right. That was a theme in that show. That's right. That's right.
Yeah, I
Okay,
was just
Jason,
going
I
along
think
with
you're
the theme,
completely
and everyone
correct.
thought it was racist.
What was that last part?
I was just going along with what was going on, and everyone thought it was racist.
Okay.
You think we're racist?
I think we thought he was racist.
No, that episode was racist. He's referencing an episode that got weirdly racist.
I think he was just going along with what was happening and then got accused of being racist.
So, Jason, thank you for the call. I'm going to ask Jake Fogelnest, what do you think?
All right, white power.
Great. Don't bring up your last call.
It was also well over a year ago.
Yeah, like nobody remembers your last call to the show. Like it doesn't matter. That started out the gate as, we'll deal with that in a minute. It started out the gate as kind of a good call. He threw out like a controversial jab, you know, like this is a pretty white panel. It's a good note, by the way. Good
great
note. It is.
And I got no argument.
This show needs it. But then it was all about his last call. What about the call you're having right now?
It's true. Live in the past. It's like doesn't David Mamet say that?
It's the opposite of Magnolia. We may be through with the past, but the past isn't through with us. In the case of calling a public access show, the past is through with you.
Jake, I think it's fair to say there may be no one who cares more genuinely about the quality of public access TV than Jake Fogelnest.
It is true. It is true.
You have a lifelong attachment to this medium.
Look, here's the thing. We have YouTube now, okay? If any weirdo out there wants to get his weirdo message out there, he just uploads a YouTube video, okay? So we gotta pay special attention to the weirdos that have the commitment to show up to a studio on like 12th Avenue and like with a control room and fill out paperwork to get their weirdo message across. Those are the committed weirdos.
Truth. All right, Jake, we're gonna take another break from the calls. We're gonna set up another classic TCGS style bit. I'm gonna ask for your notes and opinions on it afterwards, so we can take the notes as well. We haven't seen these guys, I think, since the election special. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome back a horse and a bee.
A horse and a bee, it's a bee and a horse and a bee and a horse.
Horse. Get their own theme song.
I don't know. We didn't know we had to write a song for them, so we just, did it now.
All right, a horse and a bee.
Thank you, Chris. Well, we figured since Jake, that you used to work on MTV, that we would critique something that was aired on that show or that channel relatively recently.
What aired recently?
The VMAs. Yeah, the MTV Video Music Awards.
Right.
Is what we're going to be reviewing.
What did you think of it, B?
Well, Justin Bieber made a Belieber out of this bee.
I agree. Everyone was so excited. They were yelling, "One Direction, One Direction." And I was like, what is this? The Kentucky Derby?
I tell you what, Miley Cyrus was very great. But I miss the days when she was just the daughter of Beely Ray Cyrus.
Don't you mean Billy Nay Cyrus?
Honey, don't get me started.
Quit horsing around. I thought Miley Cyrus was nuts. Totally nuts. Nuts with her performance. Or she was just hoofing glue.
But I loved her number. B won't stop and B can't stop.
Ha-cha-cha. Miley Cyrus rubbed up against Robin Thicke. Did you see that?
Mm-hmm.
And he's got all those STDs, as we know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That Mustang.
I'm sorry, horse. I thought you meant must sting. Am I right?
Ha-cha-cha.
I tell you what, Robin Thicke looked great. He was dressed like Beetlejuice. But he would have looked better in a yellow jacket.
I thought Lady Gaga was great, but personally I prefer a black beauty.
Mm-hmm. Macklemore showed us that it's okay to just be yourself. In my case, a bee. A gay bee.
Some negatives of the night. I thought Katy Perry was a total Clyde's fail.
But I loved Beyonce, JB, and their new baby, Blue Ivy.
At times the show was too much. It was too loud. I had to turn my TV to mute. I meant to say mule.
Kanye West was classy as usual, but in this bee's opinion, there were too many bumblebrags.
Ha-cha-cha. I don't mean to look a gift horse in the mouth, but Pharrell's name sort of sounds like the word feral, like a feral horse.
That's the buzz.
Ha-cha-cha.
Penn and Teller were there. Don't get B started.
I eat carrots.
I be carrots.
Saddle down, everyone. Saddle down.
Well, I am. Well, be I be.
Morrissey. I want more horsey.
Or more BC. More it be. Morris Bees is better.
Well, I guess we really
beat that horse to death.
All right. A bee and a horse.
A horse and a bee and a bee and a horse. A horse and a gay bee and a horse.
Yeah. All right, so Jake, these guys are the head writers of the Chris Gethard Show.
Yeah, for a reason. Are you watching, Lorne? That was great. That was great. That is no goofier than anything like Seth Meyers. A bee and a horse. Like this is brilliant. That's a brilliant piece of comedy. I
Jake,
love it.
specifically, how do you feel about the fact that they were reading their material off their phones?
21st century, bro.
And the horse gave me a card that says, "Thoughts of deep and sincere sympathy are with you at this time," and he crossed it out. He said horse at this horse. And then the bee crossed out everything in this card except for Happy Bee Day. All right, we've got 5 minutes left. Let's go to Luke in Chicago. Luke, how are you?
Doing good, Chris. How's it going?
Pretty good. Right now, Shelby's in the lead to win the Dick Skirt. What do you got? Maybe you can take it.
Well, I just wanted to point out that there's a lot of stripes on the panel right now, and that's making me a little uncomfortable.
Oh, a lot of stripes. That's very true. Now, what makes you uncomfortable about that?
You look a little bit like a candy cane.
Like who?
You look like a candy cane.
Okay. Okay, Luke. Jake, what did you think of that call?
I'm not done.
Oh,
what?
He's still on.
Oh, I guess Luke from Chicago calls the shots now. The floor remains yours, Luke.
All right. Well, the very first time I called in the show was on Belly Burrito, and I asked you if you had any tomatoes.
Perhaps you haven't been watching tonight's show. I'm sorry. I know I'm supposed to let you talk and then I critique, but you're awful. No.
This is a child.
This is important, Jake.
What?
This is really important.
All right, I'll allow it.
Okay, Jake allows it. Todd, you're on 2 strikes though.
Recently, it has come to my attention that Messenger Bag does not like tomatoes.
What? Gee, I wonder why.
Messenger Bag, you don't like Luke from Chicago?
Wait, based on what?
Luke, you should have started with that. Yeah. That's very
No,
interesting.
he doesn't like tomatoes. I didn't say he doesn't like me.
Oh, he doesn't like tomatoes? Okay, goodbye, Luke. Goodbye. Todd in Pittsburgh, our old friend, the master of gifts. Todd in Pittsburgh, how are you?
Hey, what's going on tonight?
Not much, man. How
Hey,
are
I'm
you
gonna be
feeling?
honest.
You sound like you might be having...
Pretty drunk, and I'm calling your show right now.
It sounds like it. I was just going to say, what have you been drinking?
Tonight, I'm drinking Canadian whiskey.
Canadian whiskey. Sounds pretty good. Sounds pretty good.
I was going to call in, and I had, actually an actual issue to discuss, but, I totally just botched the idea because I had too much whiskey, and all I want to talk about is when you have too much whiskey and too much soda, it burns like fuck when you pee.
Todd, this is my favorite call ever. It burns like fuck when you pee if you drink Canadian whiskey. Who agrees? Alyssa, do you agree?
Yes, give it up. And also, Rob Malone is wearing his jumpsuit tonight, and every time I see him wearing his jumpsuit, I'm just like, fuck yeah, let's go hard.
Let's go hard.
Let's go hard.
And
Let's go
I also have
hard.
a friend named Jake, and he's the best. And then Jake is there tonight, so I was like, that works out. Why don't I miss?
Awesome. Okay, Todd, I'm going to cut you up there. Jake, what do you think?
At first, I was nervous. I was like, call sober.
Yeah.
But then I put an ellipses, and I wrote, or be that good.
Or be that good. Todd, you crushed it. Does he unseat?
I'm afraid that Todd is
Todd!
in the lead.
You're in charge. Yeah! Todd, you may have just drank your way into a skirt full of dicks. Let's go ahead. Obadiah in Oklahoma. Our old friend Obadiah, how you doing?
Oh, hello. Can I just have the dick scoop?
Great call. Jake, you tell me, does that unseat the last call? Obadiah, police. Obadiah, you want it? All you had to do was ask. Thank you for watching the Chris Gethard Show. Thank you for calling up. Obadiah, email us, zerolux@gmail.com with your address. We'll get that dick skirt right in the mail. Jake Fogelnest, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Alyssa, Messenger Bag, Fish, Meaty, Rob, Bethany, the man behind the plant, and the LLC. Thank all you guys for supporting the show. We'll be back next week. Cannot wait. Best part of my week. A lot of fun. My live stream, you guys are the best. Thank you, chat rats, for everything. Harry Wood got cut off. Arantxa, you got cut off. Sorry about that.